Hello, how are you doing today? I'd like to talk about the Underground Railroad, which was created in the 1830s, which was mostly led by Harriet Tubman, who was a fugitive slave, but she made it out of slavery and was able to rescue and free a lot of African Americans with the help of even some Caucasian um, abolitionists and Quakers who used to hide the slaves in shelters and sheds and basements, attics, closets, whatever the case may be, which was where the slaves had to run from the South, sometimes deep into the South, North Carolina, South Carolina, maybe even Florida, and make it all the way to the North, even Canada. Um, but sometimes they had to go as far as Connecticut, which is past New York, of course. And if the slave catchers or the bounty hunters uh, found the slaves, they would have to take them all the way back to the South. Isn't that something? The reason I say that is because in Connecticut, where slavery was illegal, where the African Americans um, were considered free in the North. But once again, if the slave catchers captures the African American in Connecticut, or even very close to Canada, they could take them back. So, in other words, it seems as if even if the African American slaves um, uh, made it to the free states, but if they was caught, they could the master could catch them back because they didn't have the paperwork that showed that they was free. I don't mean I just want you to think about that a moment. So all the other African Americans they couldn't get to, but only that one African American that they still had possession over, ownership over, even though they's in a free state. So in other words, it's as if the slave catcher got the captured the African American, they brought the slavery up to the north. So it just it's mind boggling. It just I'll just give you something to think about. So even though the African Americans was free in Connecticut, but they really wasn't free. That's my point. So the African Americans, the free African Americans could see their another African American be caught by a master, and they can say, "No, stop! You can't do that." Even though the African Americans were free in the North, that the uh, kind of mind their business or turn out away. So the African American who's a slave, he was probably asking for help because he had made it to the North, but the master had finally the master had captured them. It's just give you something to think about. Now with the places of hiding and African Americans they had to run for days, weeks, and maybe even close to a month to get from the north, I mean the south to the north. Even though the Quakers and the abolitionists took care of them, but can you imagine being in dark places, in the tunnel? I mean, maybe the tunnel, but in the closet, the basement, the attic, the shed. It could have been cold, tight spaces, no pillows, no blankets. Maybe they might have slept with wild animals, with rodents, with raccoons, with um, you never know, especially in the north, because you know in the north, in New York and maybe Connecticut, they have some areas have a lot of rodents. So you never know. It was run, escaping from the south to the north was full of um, a lot of risks involved. You didn't know what was out there. But I understand the African Americans was focusing on getting their freedom, so it was worth uh, the risk for them to live a better life and not to be mistreated by the Caucasian masters. But I just wanted to share that with you. But thanks for listening to me as always. I think I said everything I need to say. Apologize if I stumble a little bit or was repeating myself, but I just wanted to reiterate the significance of how the African Americans could still be caught or captured by the slave masters, even in the free North states. That's just my point. This is similar to going back to jail for no reason when you didn't commit a crime, or going to jail when you're innocent for no reason. Can you imagine that? Going to jail for no reason while everybody else is free living their life. And there's even some movies. James Mink, for example, is a movie that comes to mind where uh, there was an African American lady. The white master went all the way to Canada. He captured her, took her and made her into a slave um, back to down south. But then uh, she had made it back up to her parents because her parents had found out that she was taken by her masters, and the parent, Louis Gossett Jr., had left Canada and went down south to get his daughter. Then they had to do the Underground Railroad by hiding in homes and hiding in carriages to make it back to Canada. It's an interesting movie that I think will give you a visualization of what I'm trying to reiterate. But thanks for listening. Please have a great one. See you later. Stay blessed. God bless. I'll talk to you later.